What is going on, guys? This is Ben here. In today's video, we have some epic game-changing update news finally for Clash Royale, and this is a lot of changes and I'm really excited for it. And we have some really good news because now we know basically when the update will be. So today, Clash Royale tweeted out a balance change list, and don't get me wrong, usually balance changes obviously are kind of minor. They tweak a little bit of things, change a little bit of cards, but this one is like none other before. It is like meta changing to the max. Everything that was strong before seems to have gotten nerfed. Everything that was kind of weak before seems to get a little bit of a buff. So this balance change is crazy. It's going to change a lot of battle decks around, and that's why I'm so excited for it. A lot of people, like some people are kind of mad about the changes. I, for one, am super excited about it because it's going to be changing how we play the game of Clash Royale in a very awesome balance change update. So I'm going to tell you guys that, but the balance changes is coming on 12/11, which is December 11th. Which means that's this Monday. And guess what? Usually when balance changes come, we can look at the past. When the updates or when the balance changes come, that's when updates are. So this Monday, guys, expect a Clash Royale update. We haven't got really any news on what's coming in the update just yet. So maybe tomorrow or maybe on Monday we'll just get it all at once. Who knows? But expect an update when this balance change does go live. So I'm excited for that. We got some update news. We have crazy balance changes. I'm going to be discussing all those. I'll have gameplay in the background going so I can fully dive into these and not get distracted like you guys know how I usually am. But other than that, leave a like if you guys are excited. And if you do not like these balance changes, if you do not like the update, you can leave a thumbs down because I want to gauge what you guys think of these balance changes. If you don't like them, leave a thumbs down. If you do like them, leave a thumbs up because for one, it's changing a lot of things. I'm going to tell you that right now. So we're going to get into it right away. The Hog Rider is finally getting a nerf. Hog Rider hit speed to 1.6 seconds. It was from 1.5, so it attacks a little bit slower. That's not a major change whatsoever. 0.1 second is not going to make a big deal, but this is. First attacks comes 0.1 second slower. Now you're being like, Ben, that's only 1.1 second slower again. Think of the Elixir Wizard. They did the same thing to the Elixir Wizard last balance change, and you can considerably notice the Elixir Wizard is a lot weaker. It's still a good card. It's still super strong. It's just it wasn't as overpowered as, well, we won't say overpowered because the Elixir Wizard I don't think was ever super overpowered. But obviously it warranted a nerf for them. So like when the Elixir Wizard would land, now his first attack was later. That's what happened. So now think of the Hog Rider. When it gets to the tower, it's going to be a little bit delayed. That little bit of delayed, you guys know, wins matches and lose matches though. So you have more time to basically counter the Hog Rider. You have to be super on top of it. So it's a tiny nerf, but it's still going to make a big impact for what the Hog Rider is. He's trying to get to the tower as fast as he can and at least maybe get one hit. And now it's going to be a little bit harder to do, but it's still going to be a good card. So Hog Rider, a little bit of a nerf. I think it really needed it. Everyone is using it. So I'm excited for that Hog Rider nerf because obviously it's hard to go up against. And the next one, everyone was thinking like, how has this card not been nerfed for so long? It's 3 Elixir and it's amazing. It's super tanky. It does a lot of damage. It basically stops everything. Well, now the Knight is the card I was talking about. His hit speed is to 1.2 seconds from 1.1 seconds. Now, honestly, that nerf I don't think is what is needed. I think his health needs to be reduced a little bit. That's just my personal opinion. I was never scared of his attack. So his hit speed only 1 second reduction, which is not super major. It's kind of like the Hog Rider, but hey, the Knight at least getting a little bit of a nerf, so you have less value for that 3 Elixir. Because honestly, that was like like a staple card in almost every battle deck. That was kind of like a cycle battle deck because he counters so much. So I was expecting, like I said, HP nerf, but we'll take it for now. The Prince, one of my all-time favorite cards, getting a buff, and I tried to make a battle deck work with him last season. I could not. I knew someone got a 20-win battle deck with a Prince. It was like a Prince bait. It was with like with the Goblin barrel, the Prince, and all that. So they're buffing the Prince though. They finally realized nobody's using the Prince except for the people that first are starting out the game when they get it. So its hit points are plus 5%, so he's going to get a nice HP increase, and his hit speed is to 1.4, and it was 1.5. So again, they're doing a lot of 0.1 changes with the hit speed. Well, this one isn't in his favor, so it'll make a little bit of difference. The big thing is the hit points, though, so I'm excited for that. I always love. Maybe I'll definitely try and make some good battle decks with the Prince going forward. Now this one is this affects all of the spells, all of the damage spells in the game. And this is going to take a while. I had to do some math because I really wanted to see how big this change is going to be. So as you guys know, this is require a little bit of a backstory too. So as you guys know, Clash Royale, if you didn't know this, now you know, but Clash Royale wanted to change the game So from less defensive state to more offensive gameplay. They said that from the beginning, from like the beta and stuff, because before the rocket there was no crown tower difference from how much damage a rocket does. So then they added where crown tower damage is less than the overall damage it'll do to like troops and buildings. So they changed that. And then ever so often, or not every so often, ever since then, like they've been changing it to make more Clash Royale more offensive. Like you have to actually get to their side of the tower and take it with troops and everything. And now it's kind of reverted back to where mainly the meta is play a lot of defense and cycle spells. A lot of battle decks like that are cycle spells. And in Clash Royale's eyes, they think that's kind of a little bit boring. And in my eyes too, I hate playing battle decks like that. It's not super fun. It's not super engaging when basically your opponent's just sitting back, dropping Inferno Tower, or Mortars do this too if they get a little bit of a head on you. They'll just play straight defense and just cycle the rockets. So those battle decks are going to be, they can still be played, but they'll be a little bit harder to use. And I'm really excited for that because I don't know about you guys. This is my personal opinion. If you are a person that did use a battle deck like that, I understand it. It's a good strategy, but it's getting a little bit nerfed because it's too strong and it doesn't promote like offensive gameplay. Basically, it was promoting defensive gameplay to continue to have the meta like this. So let's just get into it. Basically, damage spells: Fireball, Lightning, Zap, Log, Poison, Rocket, and Arrows. Their damage is 2 Crown Towers is 5% less. That's not, on paper, that sounds like a lot, but let's go over the numbers here. It's not going to be like huge game changing, and keep in mind it's only Crown Tower damage. It'll still do the same damage to like troops, elixir collectors, and all that other stuff. Just Crown Towers, it's reduced by 5%. So we're going to talk about tournament level here. We'll start off the way they listed it. So Fireball currently at tournament level does 229 damage to a Crown Tower. If you calculate in that 5% nerf, it'll do 217.55. So let's say there is no points or decimals in Clash Royale, so let's say they round up. So if it's above 0.5, you round up. If it's below, you round down. So it is going to do 218 damage roughly. I don't know exactly how they calculate that, but like for the rounding purposes, but it'll do 218 damage after the nerf once the update is live. That's not a big change. That's only 11 damage less. So, but keep in mind, Clash Royale, you can say, is a game of inches, just like the football, right? That little bit of damage can win or break, or can like make you win and make you lose, but it's not a huge change overall. The biggest change this is for the Rocket, obviously, because it has the most damage. Lightning, it used to do at tournament level 335 damage. After this update and after the nerf, it's going to do 318.25. So let's just round down. It'll do 318 tower damage, which that's a bigger difference than obviously the Fireball. And then we'll just continue on and then we'll talk whatever. Zap does 64 damage to towers before. Now it does 60.8. So let's round up. It'll do 61 damage. That's only 3 less. The Log did 96 damage before in tournament standard, and now after it'll do 91.2. So let's round down. It'll do 91 damage. The Poison is a little bit different. I don't know exactly how they're going to go about this, but overall, so the Poison duration lasts for 8 seconds, and before it was 30 damage per second, which rounds it off. The Poison would essentially do 240 damage over 8 seconds to your opponent's tower. Now, if you took the 5% off the 30 or whatever the final total, it would do 228 damage over 8 seconds. So per second, it is 28.5. So that's why I said I don't know if they're going to keep it at 28.5 per second or if they're going to round up or round down. But say they rounded up to 29, then the Poison would do 232 damage overall to the tower, so only 8 less. But if they rounded down, it would only do 224 damage, which is 16 damage less. So the Poison, curious to see which way they go about it, but that is kind of a significant nerf, to be completely honest, for that one. You could say this for everyone, honestly, too, but the Rocket, this is the big one. 493 tower damage at tournament level it did before, or before these balance changes. Now, after the 5% nerf, it is going to do 468.35. So let's round down. 468 tower damage at once. That's significant there. That's a big difference for the Rocket, but honestly, I'm so happy about that because the Rocket, I think, was just getting too much value to tower. People were cycling it without caring, and it's still gonna do a big beef of damage. What I was gonna say, a big chunk of damage to the tower, but it's not gonna be doing as much. And I'm excited for this because I'm never one. I rarely use battle decks that just kind of like cycled spells and try to get a whole bunch of damage done to the tower over time in cycling. Sometimes it has to be like that. You can see the battle deck that I'm using in the gameplay that I'm showing you guys is kind of one of those battle decks where it's just straight defense. It's really annoying. It's a lot of chip. Now with that poison damage, it'll take a lot longer to do this. Now keep in mind there is one more as well. The arrows, they did 98 damage before. Now they're gonna do 93.1, so 93. Keep in mind, like, this is going to mainly change ladder matches, because in ladder matches all you really have is those 4 minutes to play. 3 minutes of regular, 1 minute of overtime. So if we go off of that, it's probably going to cause a lot more draws if people are still playing those super defensive decks. But I think over time, if they don't want to continue to draw, like, you know, tie, I guess if some of you don't know what draw is. I'm sure everyone knows what a draw is. But there's going to be a lot more ties if people continue to play those battle decks. And then if they get sick of it, they'll probably move on to other battle decks because of this little damage. But I don't think that's going to be super significant in tournament matches, because obviously you have 6 minutes as opposed to 4 minutes to finish the game. So these defensive cycle battle decks get a lot more. They're basically more consistent in tournament matches, and that's why a lot of the pro players that you saw maybe at the Clash Royale World Finals, throughout the whatever, a lot of people would use like minor cycles, control battle decks, where they just cycle and slowly chip away at the towers, which is kind of like the one that I was using. But basically, it's gonna change a lot. That's why I'm excited for it. I'm happy about that. So I'm sorry for all the explanation, all the numbers. I just wanted to show you guys the difference of what it is. It seems small, but those small margins are gonna change a lot. It's gonna be basically like the difference between winning and losing, which is, or winning and tying, I guess you could say too. All right, let's move on now. Let me know what you think of the spells. That's the big change. They're moving away from these defensive battle decks that like focus on just cycling rockets or cycling poison. Kind of wish the battle deck that I was using, but it'll still work well because of all of these spawners and stuff that you're seeing behind me. But if you need to, you can still cycle. Just it won't be as effective, which I'm excited for. So it doesn't totally kill it, it's just not as effective. And then we have the Ice Golem. Death damage slow effect, duration to 1 second. It was 2 seconds. So that Ice Golem slow is no longer going to be as effective. That's what was so good about it, is it slowed the damage done by the troops attacking it. No, it'll still kill like bats, it'll still kill like skeletons if it dies and the ice goes around. But the Ice Golem and like Hog Rider are like hand in hand. So it's no longer going to be as effective, and the Hog Rider is going to get less hits now because the Ice Golem's only going to slow for 1 second. On top of that, the Hog Rider is having that less slow hit. So Hog Rider, Ice Golem is getting a huge nerf from the two combined. Overall, to the Ice Golem and the Hog Rider themselves as like their own cards, it's not that big a deal. But them together, that's a pretty big nerf, because you guys know it's so dependent on getting that Hog Rider as many swings as possible, and then maybe finishing it off with the rocket. Next one, Skeleton Barrel. Added death damage. That's basically when the barrel hits the tower, there's going to be a little bit of damage going off. Doesn't say how much it is, but still, if you hit the tower with that Skeleton Barrel, it'll do some damage. The Giant Skeleton, hit points plus 5%. Giant Skeleton's not really used, so I guess they can give it some love. Same with Guards. Guards, damage plus 5%, hit points plus 5%, hit speed to 1.1 second from 1.2 seconds. They really love the 0.1 hit speed changes, whether it's for or against the troop, but it's for the Guards. They're basically a huge buff to the Guards. They survive a lot more hits, and they attack faster, so I might use the Guards now. This one's big for Goblins. Goblins affects Goblins, Goblin Gang, Goblin Barrel. Their damage is 6% less. So that means that Goblin Barrel that's coming to the tower, yes, it'll have that death damage, but those Goblins aren't going to be as strong. The Goblin Gangs are going to be a little bit weaker, and also regular Goblins as well. Notice here, though, they do not have Spear Goblins on here. It just says Goblins, Goblin Gang, and Goblin Barrel. So regular Goblins. Spear Goblins are the same. I would think if they for sure would have put Spear Goblins in there. But Elixir Collector. Elixir Collector. This is a huge change. I'm going to tell you why. Its hit points are being reduced by 13%. So tournament standard, the Elixir Collector. This is a little bit of math here. I'm sorry if you guys aren't math people, but I'll get to the point at the end. It does 1,020 damage, or they had 1,020 health before these balance changes. After the balance changes, it's going to have 887.4. So let's round down to 887 health. So that's a significant slash in HP for the Elixir Collector. Keep in mind, the one spell that could take it out before, could totally wipe out the Elixir Collector, was the Rocket. Now we have the lightning that is going to be able to take out the elixir collector, and it's not going to be able to get you that 1 elixir back. Because as you guys know, if you lightninged it before, before the tournament, and it was on tournament level, the elixir collector would still give you 1 elixir, or it would still pump 1 elixir because of that. But the lightning at tournament level does 837 damage. So you're saying, Ben, well, the elixir collector still has more HP than that, like roughly 50% more, or 50 HP more, because 887 for the elixir collector for health, lightning 837. It's not gonna totally kill it in one shot. It'll still survive after the lightning, but it's not gonna get you your elixir, your 1 elixir, I don't know, the pump. It's not gonna get you your 1 elixir back before it dies out, because as you guys know, buildings have decay. So the elixir collector lasts for 70 seconds before it'll like die due to its decay. Decay means like losing health. So every second, the elixir collector loses like 12.6. I know this is a lot of math, guys. I'm sorry. I usually don't do this on my channel. But every second, the elixir collector loses 12.67 health. What that means is, over the 8.5 seconds, it would deal 107 damage to itself. If you take that away from 887, that leaves you with 780. The lightning does 837. 780 after the 8.5 seconds. Lightning 837. That means the elixir collector is going to die before it gets you back your 1 elixir. So essentially, it's an even trade. Plus, anywhere the elixir collector is played, the lightning can hit the tower. So you're gonna get tower damage and take out elixir collector with the lightning. So I can see this, a lot more people running lightning, a lot less people running elixir collector. So that's a huge change, a very big change there. The elixir collector is losing a lot of its appeal here, because now 2 spells can completely wipe it out without you at least getting any elixir back. The thing with the rocket though too was, like, if you place your elixir collector in the middle, the rocket, like in the middle of your king tower, the rocket would hit it and it wouldn't get tower damage. The lightning can now get tower damage no matter really where you place it, except for if you like place it at the bridge or something, or a defensive elixir collector. So that's a big change, big difference to the elixir collector, which I understand, because a lot of people, like, at the Clash Royale finals, I really understood a lot of what like the cards and everything was, because the elixir collector is like a card that just gives a lot of advantage and that changes the outcome of the game if you can't take it out. So I see why they're doing it. The mortar, these are bug fixes. Fix the minimum range bug. The Inferno Dragon, Inferno Tower fixed. With damage not resetting after breaking through shields. Example, guards, Dark Prince, cannon cards. So that Inferno Dragon is just gonna burn through them. I thought they changed that last time. I guess it was a bug. But yeah, guys, those are the big changes. I know I talked a lot of math. I'm sorry if it wasn't super clear, but the main thing you need to know, lightning basically essentially takes out an elixir collector without you getting that 1 elixir back. That's if you like hit it with the lightning spell within like 7 seconds or something like that. The spells themselves reduced crown tower damage. I'm excited for that. I just had to explain that to you guys so you could see the difference and really see what's going on there. But huge changes. Monday though, expect to see Clash Royale update. Whether or not we get sneak peek this time around, because that's still like in a couple days. I don't know, maybe they decide not to do it this time around. Who knows? But other than that, hope you guys are excited. Definitely like if you are. Leave a thumbs up if you like the balance changes. Leave a thumbs down if you do not. And I know normally I don't go into this much depth into like numbers, so I'm sorry if it was hard to follow. Apologize. But hey, it made sense to me, and I think maybe it'll make you guys understand too. Because I just didn't want to like say, oh, it'll do this, this, and this. I actually wanted to like give examples and prove it that it does that. So let me know if you like that style. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm M1, really excited about these changes. It's gonna like, because I'm just glad it's gonna switch up the meta a lot. It's gonna be a lot of scramble to find good battle decks, what's good, what's not, and that's what I'm excited for. Because I think we really needed a big change, and this is a good one for us. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Stay tuned for all the update stuff. Hit that bell notification, because when we get update news, I'll be trying to get it out as quick as possible to tell you guys. So hope you guys are enjoying the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.